Let's continue with the second story. So the guidelines for your project is that you have two images and two stories on the first page. Now what I'm going to do next is I will draw my text box for my headline for the second story, and then I will bring in my image. So I'm going to click, drag, let go, and place my image. File, place, and let's find that image with a cake. So there it goes. Hit open, and let's fit this image now. Object, fitting, fill frame proportionally. Perfect. The image looks great. I can actually maybe move it a little bit to make sure it's centered. Wonderful. So now I'm going to write my headline for this story, and let's assume the story is about desserts, and maybe I'm just gonna say um, spectacular desserts taste good and look better. I don't know, it just makes sure it's positive and it sounds good and it looks good. So you can work on your headlines as much as you would prefer. Now I'm gonna do Command Shift period and enlarge this headline and I'm gonna have it go in 3 lines. So, but it's important that I don't have words that break. So you see desserts here. Let's just have desserts taste good and look better. And let's try that. Okay. The font size is 24. So maybe that's gonna be okay. Now let's move the image a little bit closer to the headline. And I'm going to bring the second story. So I'm gonna click on my type tool. I'll leave some space for my caption, click, drag, let go, and I'll copy a paragraph from this story on the right. Command C, Command V, and there it goes. So now let's write a caption for this image right here. Click on your type tool, click, drag, let go, and just say honey cake baked by Kate's mother for a special occasion. There it goes. I'm going to select it and remember the guidelines for a caption. It has to be smaller in size, so I'm going to hit 10 points for size, and I'm going to change it to Arial. Remember, you have to keep the consistency. If you've decided on a caption to have it in Arial and bold and 10 points in size, then every single caption has to look identical. It has to be the same. Otherwise, it's going to be confusing and not look good. So now that's what we have for page number 1. Let's hit W and that's what we have. So we have 2 stories and 2 images. If you pay attention to this page, the pictures are not placed next to each other, so it's a really nice balance on the page. You see that Z layout that follows. There's a dominant visual and then there's a smaller visual, which is what we're looking for. Let's hit W back and we can actually apply some color to the headlines. So let's select the headlines and let's fill them with color. Maybe let's have a red color here so that it goes well with the red in the image. And let's have a green color here for the kiwi. And the green is going to actually go, well, this green is not too dark, not dark dark enough. So let's have it maybe blue for now, and we can definitely go back and change it. Now in regards to headlines, again, it's important that they look different from the body copy. So if you pay attention now, the body copy is a serif font and our headlines are a serif font as well. So we have to change that to a sans serif font. And the most popular sans serif font is Arial. So let's just hit Arial right here and let's make it smaller in size. Perfect. And let's have an Arial font for this headline as well. Now we have a problem with this. So the problem is that we have butting heads, and butting heads, it means when you have two headlines next to each other and there's no separation between the two. Now, even though this headline is blue in color and this is red in color, we must have some type of separation. At times, the separation could be a colored screen behind the story. It could be maybe a different font style. But the easiest way to create a separation between butting heads is to apply a line between them. So I'm going to click on the line tool. And if you want to draw a straight line, make sure you keep your click, drag, let go. And let's click on our selection tool, hit W, and there it goes. So you see it made it look clear and clean. We are done with page 1. There are a couple more things that we need to do, but I will show that to you in a upcoming video. But for now, let's move on to page 2 so that I show you the third thing of today's lecture. And the third objective was to guide you on to how to wrap text around objects. So let's go on page 2. And here, what we're going to do is I'm going to click on my type tool and have an editorial. So I'll click, drag, let go, and I'll have an editorial on this first column on the left. I'll go back and select the text from this box on the side, Command C, Command A to select it entirely, and Command C to copy it, Command V to paste it. Perfect. So what I want to do now is I want to place a mugshot right here in the beginning of my story, maybe the person who wrote the editorial. So click on your rectangle frame tool, then click, drag, and let go inside that column. Now, in regards to mugshots, they should not go across half of that column. That's usually the guideline of how big they should be. Now that I have my frame designed, let's place a mag. So I'm going to do File, Place, and I will assume, let's assume this is this cake right here is going to be a mugshot. So I'll hit Open, and the cake was not placed inside. So I'll do Object, Fitting, and I'll say Fill Frame Proportionally. There it goes. So that's my mugshot. Now let's click on our selection tool, let's zoom in, and if you zoom in, you see that the mugshot is on the top of the text, which is not good. So what we need to do is make sure we move the text from behind, and it actually starts here and it goes down. Now, how do you wrap text around an object? Make sure you're clicked on the object that you want the text to be wrapped around. Don't be clicked on the text box. Be clicked on the object, and when you selected the object, you see these anchor points around the frame that tells you this object is ready for whatever manipulation you're wanting to do. So to wrap text, you have to go to Window and scroll down to Text Wrap. Remember these steps: Window, Text Wrap, and here you have a couple of options to wrap text. So the first option right here, it says there's no text wrap. The second one, wrap around bounding box, which is what we need. Then we have wrap around object shape and so on. And you can play with them and see what they do. But the one we need for today is the wrap around bounding box. I'm going to click here, and you see how the text already moved, but this right here comes very close to the image. So what I'm going to do next is I will make sure that my settings are not all the same. So if this is linked, is blue, it means that all settings are the same. Unselect it. And now I have to add a little bit of space on this on the left side, on the right side. So I'm gonna find the right side right here, move up, and there it goes. You see, I added a little bit of space, and there it goes. Unselected, W, and that's how you wrap text around a bounding box.